More bad news for Sadiq Khan's London as moped crime continues to soar, and a refugee living in London is charged with sexually assaulting an 11-year-old in a McDonald's. Today I'm bringing you yet another little update on all the lovely things that are happening in London. I'm sure there's lots of lovely cultural things going on in museums and stuff, but the stuff that's really worth talking about, the stuff that you've come here to hear about, is really depressing. I know I'm probably one of the most depressing people on the internet because this is all I talk about is the terrible things going on in England, but there's so much. There's so much. And today I've just chosen two stories just to show you that nothing is changing. Sadiq Khan can go on the television and say that he's doing the best he can for London, that the Tories are doing everything wrong, but meanwhile, London's descending into chaos. So new data that's been obtained by The Times shows that the police are failing to solve 97% of moped crime in London. If you don't know already, moped crime is where people jump on a moped, they drive around the city and they grab phones from people and they steal stuff from people and just drive away, never to be seen again. Isn't it amazing, actually, that London, being one of the most heavily watched cities in the world, I think it's actually the most heavily watched city in the world with regards to CCTV. England's certainly the most heavily watched place in the world, but isn't it amazing with all that they still can't catch these people? 97% of moped crime in London goes unsolved. So these people who go out committing these crimes are probably making a crap ton of money. Taking iPhones every day, taking wallets, taking electronics, whatever, flogging it, selling it to God knows where, making a crap load of money, and there's only a 3% chance of getting caught. It's crazy. So moped crime is on the up, and The Times explains about this. They said, moped crime in the capital peaked last year when there were 2,593 reports in July alone, but has been falling since. The detection rate began to rise again in April and in May this year when officers solved 4.7% of 2,436 offences. In 2014-2015, there were 1,733 offences. The detection rate, which relates to offences that are resolved through a sanction, was then 6.8%. Cressida Dick, the Metropolitan Police Commissioner, introduced new measures last October amid alarm about the increased use of mopeds and motorcycles to commit robberies. Worrying stuff. It's going up and down, but it's still soaring. It's still increasing. And the detection rate is getting no better at all. We've seen the 6.8% and 4.7%. I mean, this is crap. This is rubbish. You know, the police should be doing their jobs, and they can't because they're probably out at a gay pride march. But not only that, by the way, I read today that in London, or at least in Southend, actually, a refugee living in London, in Southend, sexually assaulted an 11-year-old boy in a McDonald's. I only reported yesterday on another story of a refugee in Hull raping one woman and sexually assaulting another. If you haven't seen that video already, please go and check it out. It's terrible. I hate reading this stuff. But we've got to know about it. The incident happened in the Southend High Street McDonald's. The man was a Turkish refugee. When's this going to end? When are the politicians going to accept that maybe actually not every single one of these people coming into the country as a refugee is telling the truth, and not every single one of them is a genuine victim, and not every single one of them is a lovely person just trying to escape war? I know it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see people struggle, but when we're faced with a threat like this, and when we see real results of importing so many people, literally rape, murder, sexual assault, violence, British people do enough of that already. Why would we want to import more? And why would we want to import so many people when we already know that ISIS has told us that they've infiltrated these streams of migrants moving across the continent into Europe, into the UK? They've told us, and we're taking them in anyway. Diversity is our strength, we're told. Diversity is our strength. I guess maybe London just needs to become more diverse. If you want to see more from me and the rest of the Rebel team, remember to like and subscribe.